Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on how to get more patient reviews and handle negative feedback effectively. Before we get started, I want to let you know that we will be answering questions at the end of today's webinar presentation. Feel free to submit any questions you may have in the chat or Q&A at any point in the presentation. Even if you can't make it until the end, please submit your questions and we'll make sure someone reaches out to you with an answer. So with that out of the way, let's get started. First, I'd like to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Lauren Parr. I'm the co-founder and product director here at Repugen, which is a healthcare reputation management platform that assists healthcare providers in improving their online reviews, patient acquisition, retention, and engagement. I've also been a contributing editor on the Forbes Business Communication Council for the last 4 years. So before we dive into today's webinar, let's go ahead and take a look at our agenda. So first we'll be discussing why reputation management matters, how online reviews impact patient trust, search rankings, and practice growth. Next, we'll cover how to get more patient reviews and automate the process, making it simple and effective with useful tools like Repugen. Then we'll explore why negative reviews happen and the service recovery mindset, understanding common patient concerns and how to address them before they escalate. After that, we'll break down how to respond to negative reviews effectively using HIPAA-compliant best practices to turn challenges into trust-building opportunities. We'll also dive into automating service recovery, which is ensuring that concerns by patients are resolved quickly to boost patient satisfaction and loyalty. And finally, we'll wrap up with a Q&A session. So feel free to jot down any questions again along the way in the Q&A, and we will pick them up at the end. All right, so now that we've got our agenda covered, let's go ahead and dive in. So first, let's be honest. I think before trying a new restaurant, most of us probably check the reviews, right? Well, the story is really the same for healthcare. And according to the Repugen 2024 patient review survey, 73% of patients read reviews before deciding on a healthcare provider. That means nearly 3 out of 4 potential patients are researching you online if you're a healthcare provider before they even consider booking you for an appointment. So here's another key insight. According to Bright Local's local consumer survey, 50% of people trust online reviews just as much as personal recommendations from their friends and family. So, even if you provide excellent patient care, a weak online presence could mean losing patients before they ever walk to your doors. So the takeaway there is really your online reputation is your practice's first impression. Being proactive in collecting and managing reviews isn't just helpful, it's essential for building trust and attracting new patients. So when it comes to choosing a healthcare provider, patients want reassurance. And what's the first thing they check? Again, it's your online reviews. Practices with more recent, positive reviews attract more patients. If a potential patient sees a mix of older reviews or only a handful of reviews, they might question the quality of your care. But when they see consistent, fresh and positive reviews, it builds trust and credibility. So this is why having a review generation strategy is so important today. It's not just about getting reviews, it's about consistently collecting them over time to keep your reputation strong and credible at all times. So a strong reputation isn't built overnight, it's built through consistency. The more proactive you are, the more trust you'll build and the more patients you can attract. So now that we've gone over a little bit on why online reviews are critical for building trust and attracting new patients, let's take a look at how you actually get more reviews. Well, the best way to get more reviews is to ask for them. But how you ask and when is really what makes all the difference. So again, the most effective method is a direct ask. Right after a positive interaction, whether it's at checkout, after a successful treatment, or when a patient expresses satisfaction, that's the perfect time to request a review. Text and email requests work well because they're simple, direct, and usually include a link so that patients can leave a review in just a few clicks after their appointment. For another option, there are QR codes and website links that can be placed in your waiting room, on appointment cards, or on follow-up emails, so patients can scan and review on the spot while they're still in the practice. And for patients who might not be as tech savvy, follow-up cards or printed instructions can be a great way to guide them through the process with traditional mail. So now that we've covered how to ask for reviews, let's focus on timing, because when you ask makes all the difference. The key is to capture feedback while it's still fresh. Right after a patient visit is the best time to ask, when their experience is still top of mind. Patients are more likely to share positive feedback when they're still feeling good about their interaction. You should also identify peak satisfaction moments. These are the times when patients are most likely to be grateful and responsive after a successful treatment, during a follow-up call, or even through a post-appointment email. And here's where tools like Repugen take place and take this to the next level. Repugen sends patients a text or email shortly after their visit with a link to a quick NPS survey. This allows them to rate their experience and provide feedback quickly. From there, patients are guided to leave a review on platforms with Google or Facebook, etc., with just one simple click if they rated positively on that quick survey. So, really asking at the right time and making the process effortless is the way to get more reviews most effectively. With tools like Repugen, you can automate this process and get consistent, timely reviews that build trust and attract more patients. So, now I want to transition to another aspect of online reputation, which is responding to reviews. Whether they're positive or negative, it's essential for building trust with your patients and maintaining a strong reputation. Research from the Bright Local Consumer Review Survey shows that 88% of consumers are more likely to choose a business that responds to all reviews. And timeliness in responses is also critical. 34% of consumers expect a response within 2 to 3 days, and another 22% within a week. This highlights that both acknowledgement and speed of how you respond really does matter to your patients. So when it comes to positive reviews, here's a quick tip guide on how you can respond and make the most of them. So first, you want to express gratitude. Thank the patient for their kind words and for taking the time to share their experience. Next, you'll want to acknowledge specifics. If they highlight something that they enjoyed, you can also mention it in your response to show that you're paying attention and really acknowledging the specifics that they wrote out in their review. And then third, you can invite further interaction. So you can encourage them to return or share their experience with others, which can help you grow your practice. So really responding promptly and thoughtfully, whether to positive or negative feedback, demonstrates your commitment as a practice to patient satisfaction and also strengthens trust with both current patients and potential patients who are seeing your responses to those reviews when they're checking you out online. So now let's talk about one of the bigger challenges in reputation management, negative reviews, and how adopting a service recovery mindset can turn these situations in opportunities to build trust. So negative reviews often stem from common pain points that patients experience. These could include feeling rushed or unheard during appointments, frustrations with billing, or maybe poor front desk interactions. Other issues like excessive wait times, appointment scheduling difficulties, or even practice accessibility can leave patients feeling dissatisfied and potentially lead them to share their frustrations online. So, really understanding these common triggers is the first step in addressing them and preventing further complaints. Here's the good news. Negative reviews don't have a harm to your reputation if they're handled the right way. So, great service recovery first acts as a reputation protector. When patients see that you are putting in an effort to address their concerns, it can build trust and loyalty. The truth is, patients don't expect perfection, they understand mistakes happen. What they do expect is a response and a resolution. So, a structured approach to service recovery not only resolves issues, but also turns complaints into opportunities to showcase your commitment to care. So, service recovery really starts before a review is even written by actively addressing concerns and building trust at every step. And when it comes to responding to negative reviews, a clear, empathetic, and compliant framework is key. That's where the HEART method comes in. Using this method, you'll want to first hear, acknowledge the patient's concerns, empathize, show that you understand their frustration, acknowledge, validate their experience without sharing private details, respond, offer a general solution or explanation without protected health information, and finally, thank. Appreciate their feedback and invite them to discuss further online. Using this method ensures your response is both professional and focused on patient care while maintaining compliance. Another thing to keep in mind, while responding to reviews, it's equally important to stay compliant and HIPAA compliant while doing so. So here's how. You can use generic phrases and avoid confirming or denying any specific health details about the patient's visit. Don't mention their specific names, dates, or specific appointment details that could help identify a patient. If the issue requires further discussion, try to move the conversation offline by offering a secure way for the patient to reach out, like through a patient portal or through a phone call. By following these guidelines, you can protect patient privacy while still addressing their concerns and maintaining trust. So here are two examples of how to respond to negative patient reviews in a way that's both effective and HIPAA compliant. So in our first example, we have a kind of vague negative review. This type of review really doesn't provide much detail, and it makes it harder to address specific issues. In the response, we can acknowledge the patient's concerns and apologize for their dissatisfaction. Emphasize that the feedback is taken seriously, even when details are limited, and invite the patient to take the conversation offline to really better understand and resolve their concerns. So, in example number 2, we have a more emotional, critical review. In this scenario, the patient is upset and critical of their experience. So, here's how we can respond in this type of example. First, you want to acknowledge and apologize for their negative experience while maintaining a calm and professional tone. You can avoid confirming any specific details while staying HIPAA compliant. And again, encourage the patient to reach out directly by taking the conversation offline. This again shows a genuine willingness to address their concerns and improve. And really, these examples demonstrate that thoughtful, empathetic, and timely responses can turn even negative feedback into an opportunity to show you care and are committed to improvement. Responding in this way not only helps address patient concerns, but also builds trust with others who read your reviews. All right, so now let's dive into one of the most critical aspects of reputation management, service recovery. Here's the main thing to keep in mind about service recovery. It helps you manage reviews and saves your relationship with patients. Patients who experience great recovery efforts often become more loyal because those who never had an issue in the first place. On the other hand, a bad review doesn't have to mean you lost a patient unless there is nothing done to address it. This is why service recovery is such a powerful tool. It helps retain patients, build trust, and protect your reputation. So again, service recovery doesn't happen by accident. It requires a really structured approach and protocol. Here's a simple three-part framework that you can use to get started. Number one is to catch complaints before they escalate. And the main way that we recommend doing this is to use quick surveys after patient visits to detect any issues that they might have had. It really gives them an outlet to leave any feedback so you can understand what potential complaints are before they escalate. And you can get notifications for new reviews so that you can respond in real time. The main survey that we recommend using is an NPS survey. So you can send these surveys shortly after their appointment to gather fresh feedback. Tools like Repugen help identify dissatisfied patients, quickly allowing you to address issues early on. And an NPS survey is when patients can easily rate their experience on a quick scale and give any feedback depending on what their rating was. So that way you can easily identify and filter the different responses to the survey based on whether their interactions were positive or negative. And finally, you want to automate the service recovery process. So platforms like Repugen can streamline review requests, monitor feedback, and help you manage responses, making service recovery both proactive and efficient. So as an example, here's how Repugen's service recovery process works to make the whole process easy for every member of yours. So after every visit, patients receive an automated survey that looks something like this, where they can provide feedback about their experience. If the patient provides a negative rating and a negative response, Repugen's system immediately flags it and notifies your team, allowing them to proactively follow up and address their concerns. With this system in place, you can improve patient recovery rates by up to 80%, as reported by our clients, turning unhappy patients into advocates for your practice. But if you don't have an automated process with a tool like Repugen, you can still implement a service recovery process with your team. And there are three ways to address patient issues effectively. First is through staff training. So just ensuring that your team is equipped with empathy and the ability to have issue resolution techniques. You also want to ensure there are immediate follow-ups happening for your patients. So don't rely on, email alone. Call unhappy patients directly and resolve their concerns. Or if you notice a patient is disgruntled at the office, try to rectify their experience on the spot. And third, you want to identify clear resolution paths. So whether it's a billing issue, a long wait time, or a scheduled appointment, offer solutions that show patients their feedback is being taken seriously. Okay, and that is the end of today's presentation. So let's recap the key points we covered today. First, more reviews equals more trust by prospective patients and more growth for your practice. So ask for reviews at the right time and make it easy for patients to leave reviews with texts, emails, or QR codes. Automate the review request process and service recovery. Again, tools that we offer here at Repugen help streamline that process and can alert you to dissatisfied patients to ensure you can recover them before they feel the need to go and leave any negative reviews on your online profiles. But if you do get negative reviews, you can see them as opportunities. So responding professionally and empathetically can turn negative reviews into trust-building moments. Again, prospective patients are seeing your responses to these reviews. So if you respond eloquently, then patients can see that you really care about other feedback. And service recovery prevents escalation. So addressing issues early on with real-time feedback and proactive follow-ups can really help to ensure that you aren't receiving these negative reviews and you're identifying any areas of improvement for your practice. And always HIPAA compliance is critical. So protecting privacy by using generic responses and moving discussions offline is key. And finally, a strong reputation is built proactively. So monitoring, responding, and improving your online reviews is really something that's going to ensure trust and resilience for your practice. So now that we've gone over the webinar and the key takeaways, I want to take a little bit of time here just to tell you a little bit more about Repugen. So, we are a comprehensive reputation management platform designed to help healthcare practices like yours thrive in today's digital world where patients are relying on your online reviews to select you. We do offer a variety of services to help you improve, manage, show off your online reviews, and can help to automate and track the entire process, including service recovery. So this can really help you build a healthy online presence. And then we also have other tools that can help you leverage that reputation with marketing solutions, sentiment analysis. We even have some patient engagement tools. So if you want to learn more about us, you can contact us today by emailing us directly at info@repugen.com, or you can visit our website at www.repugen.com to learn more about us. We have forms on our website that you can fill out to contact us, and we'd be happy to get on a call with you and learn how we can help you build a thriving reputation. I also quickly wanted to let you know about a limited time promotion. This is being offered to all of our webinar attendees. So if you are interested, I'd love to tell you more about it. For a limited time, we're offering a 6-month free trial of our Repugen Review Pulse service. So Repugen's Review Pulse service is a comprehensive review tracking system, which essentially helps you streamline online reputation monitoring. You'll be able to track and respond to reviews from all major platforms directly from the Review Pulse dashboard. So you'll see new notifications when you get new reviews and be able to reply with them. You can even generate HIPAA compliant review responses that are tailored to the specific review that patients are leaving. That's our tool, which is called ReplyWise. It essentially creates a proposed review response to any reviews that you have. You can tailor it and tweak it as you like, and then respond directly to those patients with that response. You can also, with our Review Pulse offering, leverage AI-powered sentiment analysis, which can really help to identify some of those strengths or weaknesses in your practice, which, like we talked about today, can really help with streamlining service recovery. And all in all, our Review Pulse tool is really able to help you start to identify where your reviews are coming from and help to understand whether you're consistently building online reviews or if you need to implement a process to help generating more reviews. But really, this is kind of the first step you can take, and it's completely free for 6 months. So if you want to take advantage of this opportunity, you can visit our website at www.repugen.com or contact us at info@repugen.com to activate your 6-month trial. Just mention that you were an attendee of one of our webinars, and our team will be happy to assist you with that process. All right, so with all of that out of the way, I want to finally go ahead and go through our section for any Q&A. So, thank you for your time today. We're now happy to answer any questions you may have. You can go ahead and enter them in the Q&A section if you have a question. Okay, awesome. And it does look like we have a question here. How can we encourage patients who had a good experience to leave a review, especially if they don't typically leave online feedback? Yeah, great question. So, actually, that is what we find all the time. Many satisfied patients don't leave online reviews simply because they don't think to do it. They don't really go out of their way to leave an online review unless they're prompted to do so most times. So, you can encourage them to leave a review by using multiple different channels. Some patients prefer text messages with a link to leave a review, while others may prefer email. So you can train your staff to ask, patients to leave a review for you at checkout or after a positive interaction. But really, the main way that we recommend to do so is through the use of Repugen. You're able to automate the entire process, and you can really ensure that every single patient is being requested to leave a review. Great question. Oh, it looks like we got another question. If a patient leaves a vague negative review, how should we respond if we don't know what went wrong? Yeah, so really the best way to approach this is to acknowledge the feedback of the patient, professionally, even if they just left a 1-star review with no context. I would always invite the patient to try and discuss their experience offline. So, you can say, thank you so much for your feedback. We'd love to learn more about, why your experience wasn't so great. Please give us a call at yada yada yada. And this really shows that you take their feedback seriously, even if you don't know all the details yet. And it really gives you the outlet to hopefully talk to that patient, understand what went wrong. And we've seen in a lot of those cases, if you are able to get the patient on the phone to talk about what happened, a lot of times they just want to vent their frustrations. And once they do so, they'll even sometimes go back and remove that negative review or update it to say, hey, this, practice really took the time to rectify my experience and even increase the star rating. So those are some things that we've seen. But yeah, whenever you get any sort of review, we always recommend responding to all of them. All right, and another question, how do we handle fake or misleading reviews that don't seem to come from actual patients? Yeah, so again, even if the review appears to be fake, you want to avoid accusations and really just handle the situation as though it is real. A response that encourages the review to directly contact your office again is going to be key. So many platforms also allow you to flag a review if you believe it's fraudulent, so you can use those features to your advantage by, flagging them, go through the regular process to try and get that review removed by the actual review platform. But lastly, encouraging more authentic reviews from your patients is really going to help with creating a steady stream of genuine reviews to really outweigh the impact of, the occasional fake ones that may come through, or a patient who accidentally left a review for your practice when they thought it was a different one, for example. All right, and another question, can too many review requests come across as annoying to a patient? How can we avoid that? Yeah, so it really is a bit of a dance. So over requesting for reviews can come off as maybe a little desperate or frustrate patients. So it really is important to find the right balance. Ways to prevent what we call review fatigue or requesting too many reviews really include, sending personalized requests that include the patient's name so that they feel it's specifically coming for them. And, you really want to time your requests wisely. So sending a request after the peak satisfaction moment, like we talked about in today's webinar, can help to increase the chance of positive responses. And one thing that's really great about Repugen, once we get a review response or a survey response in a patient who leaves a review, our process will automatically stop. So basically, once a patient's left a review for you, you want to make sure you don't continuously follow up with them after that, because they'll just think, hey, I already did this. Why are you continuing to ask? So that's another really great thing. And finally, I would offer, easy opt out process so that, if patients are receiving texts or emails, there's an easy way for them to opt out if they choose that they do not want to receive those review requests. If they prefer, they can easily just stop those. All right, and it looks like we've got time for one more question. And the question is, can we offer incentives like discounts or gift cards to patients for leaving reviews? So, unfortunately, we're not able to do that in most cases. So, offering incentives for reviews does violate most review platform policies and can result in penalties or even review removal or taking down your review page, which is something that is not great for your search results and you definitely don't want. So, instead, you can encourage patients to leave reviews organically by, again, just making the process as easy as possible for them. Request them reviews with text messages, emails, QR codes, anything that's really easy and you're asking authentically and focusing on their experience is going to be the best way to generate more positive reviews. You'd be surprised how many patients will leave reviews for you when you just ask them. Yeah, so That is all the time that we have for today's webinar, but thank you everyone for attending and participating, asking great questions. And yeah, I hope that you all found this information valuable, and we wish you the best in building a strong reputation for your healthcare practice. Again, if you want to learn more about Repugen, you can do so by contacting us at our email listed here or visiting our website. We've also got our phone number on the screen for you as well. So thanks again so much for attending today. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. Take care.